There are 7 stupid mistakes people make regarding their health. Number 1, getting the wrong advice and then accepting that advice as a fact. You go to the doctor and they might ask you about what you're taking and you say, I'm taking these vitamins, I'm taking magnesium, etc. And they're going to just kind of go, oh, you don't need that. You can get that from your diet. And then you accept it as a fact. Unfortunately, just because someone has an MD behind their name or even a PhD behind their name doesn't mean they fully evaluated all the information. They haven't even looked at it. They just tell you their opinion and then you accept it. So that would be a big mistake. And this definitely relates to a vitamin D deficiency. There is so much valuable information about vitamin D that's buried deep into the literature. And if you just do a superficial look at, the first 3 pages on Google, you're probably going to find all sorts of biased information and, oh yeah, vitamin D doesn't do anything and we get enough from our diet or the sun. And that is just terrible information because so many people have vitamin D resistance. So the normal typical amounts, even if it's like 2,000 IUs, are not going to do anything. They'll never be able to achieve this therapeutic effect. Number 2, a person is depending on all their protein requirements from a protein powder, and it's not complete compared to animal protein. You're not getting any vitamins or minerals or other things that are in animal meats. Now, the other thing that comes with that is when you just consume meat and you're thinking you're getting all of your proteins. Did you realize that out of all the proteins in your body, 30% is collagen? There's not a lot of collagen in meat. Now, if you eat a tender steak, for example, you're only getting like 1 to 2% collagen. All right, number 3, basically a problem with medicine, the whole system. You treat the symptom, you don't really get rid of the cause. Now, I'm not talking about the doctors that are mending a bone from a fracture, or if you go to the doctor for an infection. I'm talking about how they treat chronic disease, with certain pills. A really good example is just blood sugar, right? So normally you should have a certain amount of normal blood sugar. Even if you do eat carbs, this hormone called insulin comes in there, takes the sugar out of the blood so you can have normal blood sugars. So yes, that whole system of medicine is really stupid. So the next time you're at your doctor, ask him, is there going to be any point in this treatment program that I'm going to come off the medication because the medication fixed it? All right, number 4, the hyper focus on reducing your salt content for high blood pressure. I mean, in nutrition science, you need like twice as much potassium to sodium as far as the ratios. I mean, it would probably be better if you had 4 times the potassium to the sodium. So instead of focusing on lowering your sodium, which is going to create weakness and other problems, why not increase the potassium? And if someone really were to evaluate what potassium does to your arteries, it keeps them flexible. All right, number 5, having this idea that unsaturated fats are somehow healthier than saturated fats. And I'm talking about these unsaturated fats, the heart-healthy unsaturated fats. It is highly refined and it's in pretty much every single junk food, which is called ultra-processed foods. And yes, it might lower your cholesterol a little bit, but what about all the other damage that it can do? And I'm talking about like rusting out the inside of your arteries, creating inflammation, etc. All right, number 6, this idea that red meat is junk food. We've been eating red meat for a very long time. It still retains all the vitamins, the minerals, the other stuff that's in there that can help you. And yes, there's different levels of processed meat, but to lump in the red meat with the processed meat and even, state that they are both the same as far as causing cancer is stupid, because red meat is one of the most healing things that you can consume, especially for gut health. In fact, it was the thing that actually turned me around just within probably minutes. I remember years ago when I was a junk food junkie, and then I just started to consume red meat for breakfast, and it was like a miracle overnight. I just felt like the brain fog went away. I started feeling better. All right, and number 7, reading nutrition facts. This, unfortunately, is a very stupid mistake, because if you actually started reading the nutrition facts, you're going to be shocked. It's very confusing when you focus on the nutritional facts through up here, all these numbers right here. I mean, it gives you some data, but you really can't tell what's going on unless you read the ingredients. And of course, the first one is sugars, okay? And of course, they have sugars hidden as other words like high fructose corn syrup, things like that. And that's number 1. And number 2 is all the seed oils like corn oil, canola, soy oil, cottonseed oil. But number 3, starch. Starch is really the hidden sugar that people don't talk about. Let's take, for example, this product right here. If you look at the total carbohydrate, and this is actually very interesting, 16 grams of carbohydrate. Guess how much sugar is in here?
0.
All right, if we take the 16 grams of carbohydrate, which is really hidden sugars, and then we multiply it by the number of serving sizes. This right here is 56 teaspoons of sugar in this one bag of Doritos. These refined starches act on your blood sugars worse than actual sugar, but it's classified as 0 sugars. You see the problem? A person is literally going to make stupid choices because it's omitted. Now, since we're on the topic of starches, I think this next video on maltodextrin will blow you away. Check it out. It's right here.